Now, Irv Gotti just passed.
Yeah, rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace.
Dude.
Yeah,
Good dude.
I did an interview with him, man. Me and his brother Chris are actually really cool. We spoke
even better
a few days
dude.
ago. Yeah, no, I really like. Chris is the one who I had a relationship with.
He's cool. He's a
yeah. Irv I've interviewed once, but that was it. Now, you used to hang out with Irv a little bit.
Irv and Suge, only through Suge.
Yeah, because Murder Inc. used to come hang out with Suge.
Correct.
Who said this story? Was it Ja Rule that said that when Suge first met him, that he cried because he reminded him so much of Tupac? You know the story?
Yeah, I mean, I heard the story. I didn't see that part, but I was at the studio. I didn't want to set up the meeting.
Okay.
What happened was Jimmy, Pain, the song was on, Pain was on Above the Rim soundtrack.
Right.
And they had sampled it. They had called Jimmy Interscope and asked Jimmy to clear it. Jimmy told Irv, Death Row has to clear it, because it was on Above the Rim. Suge had just came home a day or two, so I don't think people had knew that Suge was out because, we didn't have social media like we did now. But people hadn't heard. They called and they got to me, of course, because I was the connect person at that time. And I told Suge, hey, the guys is on the phone, they're trying to get the song clear. He said, where they at? Suge is he's a spontaneous guy and an in-person type of guy. Where they at? They so happen we're at the studio in Burbank called Enterprise Studio. They up at Enterprise right now working. Tell them we're on our way up there. We go up there, those niggas just clashed, started talking, and it was all good. And they were cool ever since. And so that's how they pretty much went. That's when they met McGriff. He was with them.
Okay, so you met Supreme also?
And Supreme was there, and it was just all good. And now, of course, everybody was just hanging around and stuff. That story that you asked me about that led into this, I don't know. I can't confirm or deny. But Suge and Irv had gotten even so close, and where they were going to do something, there was this artist that Suge was promoting at the time named Crooked Eye. And that's why they even put Crooked Eye in that Ashanti video and stuff. They were going to let Crooked Eye go over to Murder Inc. and do something, and Ja Rule was going to come and do something for Death Row. That was just because Irv and Murder Inc. was big at the time. Well, Inc. Well, they were the Inc. but they were big at the time. And so that's when they were just going to do some cross whatever, just to see who can do the best of them. I guess something like what Jermaine Dupri and L.A. Reid did with Janet and Mariah Carey or something like that.
Well, yeah, but at the time, Murder Inc. was on fire, and Death Row was barely struggling. I mean, shout out to Crooked Eye, like me and him are cool, correct, but he never did anything at Death Row.
He didn't get his opportunity.
Yeah, he never got the opportunity over there. He got into his groove later on.
Yeah.
He was doing Slaughterhouse and the independent stuff and so forth. But like at Death Row, they didn't really have any really stars at that time.
No, it was just corrupt.
At that time.
It was just Corrupt and Crooked Eye.
Right, but Corrupt never really put out anything through Death Row, did he?
Yeah. He put out a song, Against the Grain or something like that. It came out.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, I mean, Corrupt was a viable artist. Dog Pound was a big project.
2004, 2005.
What's the name of the Corrupt album? Streets is a Mother or something like that?
Yeah, that was done on, was that done, the one on Death Row in 2005?
I don't know.
It was one that he did in like 2004, 2005 on E1. That came out on Koch Entertainment.
Hold on a second. The Streets is a Mother. Hold on a second. Let me see.
That's when he was calling himself the president. The president of Death Row.
This came out under Antra Artemis.
Okay, that was the one.
That's what I'm saying. That's not even on Death Row.
Yeah, that was before.
So yeah, Corrupt may have come back and put out a song.
Yeah. No, Black, keep looking. He did one on Koch Entertainment.
And that was through Death Row?
2005, yeah. 2005, 2004.
Are you talking about Space Boogie, Smoke Odyssey?
No,
that's also Antra Artemis. And then Against the Grain, Death Row Koch.
Yeah.
That came out in 2005.
2005.
It was recorded in 2002.
Yeah. Well, it was during that time. Yeah. Correct.
And this album, I don't think did numbers.
No, I don't think it did copper.
It debuted at number 60 on the Billboard 200.
Correct. My point, I mean...
Shout out to Corrupt, man. Very dope lyricist. But I'm saying by that time...
Oh, who's dead?
He was not the Corrupt, you know, of the death row heyday.
I agree.
You know, and so that's what I'm saying. Why would Murder Inc.
Because Irv was trying to help Suge. They were cool. That was my whole point. They were being cool.
Yeah,
that's why he even let Crooked I be on the song with Ashanti. Why would they do that? Irv was trying to help Suge.
Okay.
Yeah.